shit. Guys, I think this is the same device that gave me the pressure sores and I didn't notice. Because I just got up and I looked at it and it actually looks like the same headset that gave them to me. I tried to get it to not do that, so that might have worsened my pressure sores that were already there. But I think that I probably shouldn't be wearing this. So yes, I will be asking for a different headset around my birthday. Preferably if I can go there in person for that purchase. You know, just to make sure that whoever I ask is aware that I'm seeking something that will not put pressure on my glasses. Which I added to my avatar because I don't look like myself without them. I mean, I don't know how it became my textbook accessory, but if I'm looking at a model of mine and there aren't glasses on it, it just looks so wrong. But I didn't have glasses on my models for quite some time. My models were often very simple, and so is this one, if you ask me. I mean, based on what I've seen, my model is pretty simple. And honestly, it's cursed. But I do like it. It's just cursed. I feel like I've ruined the layers. I ruined the layers, that's why it's so bad. Excuse me, word shit again. Let me fix this with a drink. I really don't need to see this. Okay. Hey, darling. I've been looking all over for you. I don't like what that means. You know, at first I thought the audio was muted. No, there's no music here. And my grandfather really wants to see you, Yugi. Okay, well, that makes sense. So, what is this about? I have a theory that all of these monster sightings have to do with you. I have a theory that all of these monster sightings have something to do with you. What does that mean? I discovered underwater carvings that existed long before ancient Egypt. Take a look. Underwater carvings that existed long before ancient Egypt. It sounds like Atlantis. It would be cool if it had been a real thing at one point, but it's just I don't think we're ever going to find evidence of that. Which is really unfortunate because it would be a cool concept if, you know, there had been advanced civilizations before us and all sorts of implications that would have. But I think we're going to become sort of like Atlantis here. We're going to just prove the point of whatever the Atlantis story was supposed to represent. Especially since we're so greedy and full of shit. But how long before ancient Egypt? I just want to know. Also, I like this music. Take a look. No way. Dual monsters. Are you kidding me? These monsters didn't originate in Egypt. They lived over 10,000 years ago. over 10,000 years ago. Uh-huh. They lived over... Dude, okay, sure. 10,000 years? The monsters are attacking the city. Where are they attacking the city? I believe there's a parallel world of monsters that exists alongside our world. Theory confirmed. I mean, I don't know if it's confirmed here, but it's a thing. Are you saying that these monsters have somehow been released into ours to destroy it? Yes, probably. Give me a break, you nutty professor. No, I don't think he's joking, Tristan. And after some of the shit you've been through, I really don't think you should be asking questions. What? Yeah, what was that for? Keep your comments to yourself. Don't you know that even Pegasus was inspired by the past to create dual monsters? I believe you, Professor. After all the weird stuff we've been through, I believe anything. Oh yes, Joey. Someone that can think and reason. Wow, now I'm insulting Tristan's intelligence. Like Merrick's monster attacks felt real to me. Plenty of stuff that can't be easily explained. Yeah, you know, it's kind of weird that Kaiba doesn't believe the same shit, considering he's been through some pretty weird shit himself. Kaiba, why are you denying that? You've been through some shit. Are you gaslighting yourself? Not very nice of you, but I mean, I know about your upbringing, so you probably don't have very high emotional intellect. Such as how there's a pharaoh living inside my puzzle. Yeah, a puzzle being, that is a bit weird, but I mean, it must be even weirder to be the one living it. I mean, some of my experiences sound like complete nonsense, but you really have to imagine what it's like for me to have been shaped into a person that does believe that shit. There are things that I've experienced that even I would tell you, just no. That's no bullshit. But my experiences have shown me otherwise. I've been shown things that, honestly, if I couldn't accept them, I think I would be insane right now. That is how serious some of the shit I've been through is. And to some people, they might think that's a bit concerning, or that perhaps it's ridiculous that I could be pushed to insanity just for a number of reasons that make no sense. But you know, it really helps to accept when you're experiencing something, doesn't it? Instead of trying to explain it away with normal logic. It doesn't always work. Humans do not work that way. We are not 100% logical. That would be boring. We need emotions to be balanced. If we didn't have emotions, you wouldn't be able to experience pleasure and enjoyment and things like that. And the fact that I can experience those things, given some of the things that I've claimed, is, well, it makes it sound like I'm not serious. But given my recent upload schedule, I hope you understand that some of that was caused by anhedonia, as well as me being a perfectionist and a number of other things. I've been concerned by the recent political conversations in my videos that are definitely one-sided. I've been concerned that it may make my content less enjoyable because I'm bringing up these events and that no one really has any reason to watch my videos because it'll just make you depressed. But if I'm going to be honest here, I don't think this country is getting out of this because that sounds too depressing. So at some point, I will probably have to bite the bullet and talk about it in more detail. And by that, not while playing a game. I don't want to actually do this because it makes me uncomfortable, as well as a number of other things that also make me equally uncomfortable. But, I mean, there are things that could be contributing to my anger, and if I don't figure out what that is, it'll just stay here. And I don't know what's making it worse. So, I guess it's easy to rule out some obvious factors first. Granted, I really don't think that I can blame the president on this one. Unfortunately, I wish I could, but I don't think I can. That being said, the recent anger that I'm experiencing is definitely, at least in part, his actions. What he's done is at least partially to blame, as well as the rest of the regime. And I am concerned that my weird experiences, well, I don't know how people would receive them. They're weird. I mean, I believe things that not everyone does. It sounds insane. But when you live it for yourself, that's a very different experience of reality. And a lot of what I experience is also subjective. You can't really confirm it. So, how would you know I'm not telling the truth? How would you know? But I've been questioning a lot of my memories, especially some of the more weird ones. I'm just like, could my brain have found a way to create this? I think so in some cases. I mean, I've seen some of my videos, and not being able to see Joey change outfits is... That caused me to ask quite some questions right there. I'll be really honest with all of you. I watched the video. He was changing outfits. You could see it. I could not for some reason. But it's in the video. So my brain can do some very weird shit when it comes to reality, and I'm not sure that all of it is real. But there are definitely things that bleed over into reality. Like, for example, I had this weird dream about November in 2024, which sounds weird, but listen here, listen. Trump won in 2026. Wait, what? No, he didn't. That is not true. I do not believe he has won anything this year, as far as I know, but I'm not going to look into that. Give me a second. Trump won in 2016, proving he can win a presidential election. My brain then had enough information to produce a dream that it could happen again, which unfortunately it did. And I had to start being more quiet because, not just because of an agreement I made, but honestly, I don't even know what the agreement holds. But what am I doing? This is episode 4, and I've got episode 5 to cover. I have to get through this event. But like I said, the maintenance starts at 1, so Konami will kick me out eventually, but the fact that I can keep rambling for quite some time until then is a problem. How about I keep going? Our hypothesis suggests that the supernatural phenomena you've experienced It may actually find its roots in Atlantis. May actually find its roots in Atlantis. Okay. Well, I do remember some things, as I've stated countless times. Oh my god. Whoa, those are some pretty big words, especially coming from such a little kid. Big words coming from a kid? Listen, dude, just because a child is willing to read more than you, it doesn't mean those are big words, okay? I'm pretty sure any child can learn to read big words. Just because you don't know them yourself doesn't change anything. And besides, you're in Japan. I'm pretty sure the literacy rate in Japan has to be higher than here. I don't know if I necessarily want to try backing that up with any claims, but, well, when you have that many characters in your native language, that says a lot about what is required for you to be able to play a card game. I'll just be honest. I can still occasionally recognize Japanese, though, since I still recognize some hiragana. But I didn't actually properly learn the language, because kanji is, well, let's just say with some fonts, I can barely read English. Like, is that an uppercase I or a lowercase L? Some fonts barely, in some fonts there's no difference. No visual difference whatsoever. I imagine Japanese would, it's a difficult language for me to learn with a problem like that. But I'm sure there are some tips and tricks for reading kanji on a phone. A kid? I'm a college student, thank you very much. And a more accomplished one. Dear God. I dropped out. I mean, I didn't mean to drop out at the time. I just rage quit for a temporary amount of time, and then I started to regret it until I developed anhedonia, and then I'm like, oh, I don't think I would be able to keep up with my assignment or something this crippling. But I never went back to college because I didn't feel like it was teaching me what I wanted to learn. That, and I had some issues back then that would have made it very difficult to pursue what it could teach me. I'll just put it that way. College student? Yes. Are you jealous? I'm sure she studies a lot of things. I'm just your average child's genius. Genius. Okay, would you like to hear Nail's resume? What do you mean you don't know who Nail is? Okay, whatever. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, when Egyptian sorcerers conjured these monsters, the pharaoh was there to save mankind. If that pharaoh has been reborn in you, it could mean mankind needs his help again. That's some shit to drop on a child. I mean, excuse me for a second, but what? I'm pretty sure that, you know what, let's continue. I'm not gonna ask any questions about whatever I just said. If I do that, I'll just end up on another tangent. By the way, I'd like to show you something, Professor. Ever seen anything like this before? What have you got there, Yugi? It's a pendant. This stone is similar to something I discovered on my expedition. Would you mind if I held on to it? you discovered something like that during your expedition. Okay, well, study it, but don't die. Study it, but don't die. Big words, considering at any age you could die. And this man is old enough to be... Well, this man is someone's grandparent, so I can imagine he's quite old. I mean, Solomon Moto is old, so he must be at least as old as that. And I mean, I'm not going to be mean, but when you're old, you could die at any moment. What do you mean it sounds like I want someone to die? Of course not, Professor. Okay. Now back to this event. I will try to behave, but I can't promise anything. It's time to pay for your father's crime by giving up your soul. That's not fair. That's not fair. My brother's innocent. Our stepfather was a jerk, but don't blame Seto for that. That's enough, Mokuba. Wow. My stepfather was a snake. What he did to your family was wrong. Wow, why do people have to keep insulting snakes? Snakes are cool. Come on, what's with all the insulting? He's not even the first person to be compared to a snake today that I know about. Yes, I heard this. And my response to my response to Gozabro being a snake is also because of what I've read. I'm just like, why are you insulting snakes? And I'm just like, yeah, why are they doing that? I mean, snakes aren't causing nearly as much damage. Humans are the ones doing more damage. Yeah, he's just playing both sides. I don't like that. That's stupid. But at least he was probably not sadistically enjoying it. It was just a business decision. My stepfather was a snake. What he did to your family was wrong. And you deserve to be paid for that. Then again, I don't really care for the way you got me here by threatening to put me out of business. Wow. Well, dude, I think Kaiba has actually been nicer to Alistair compared to me. But I've already explained why that is. So, why don't we let this duel decide? If you're lucky enough to win, maybe I'll decide to help you. Decide. Maybe you'll decide. Listen, Kaiba, I don't think you understand how this works. You don't get to dismiss magic and then freak out as soon as the consequences kick in. Which I assume the dub makes you continue to just wave away, while the original probably made you sound a lot more reasonable. And while you do sound reasonable here, I imagine you don't fully believe that anyone can be trapped in a card. As someone that has been trapped in a card, I don't know why you would doubt that. But you are the dub version of Kaiba, so why am I asking this weird question? When I defeat you, you'll help me, alright? Just you wait. Alright guys, in the next video, I'll complete episode 5, and then we'll go over what Alistair said when I unlocked him. I bet it was something that I should have been paying attention to, but I wasn't.